Alright guys, so with the Peppy Gals update that recently happened over on JP, this Waifu MAI card got an awakening. Now, of all the characters in Dragon Ball that are considered waifus in here, I mean, there's a lot of characters who, let's just say they're a little younger than they should be if they're to be considered waifus, right? Like, for example, this Bulma card is a perfect example. But, unlike all the rest of them, this MAI right here is very old. MAI is what, like 80 in Dragon Ball Super? But at some point off screen, her and the other Pilaf gang members were, you know, transformed basically back into kids with presumably the Dragon Balls. I mean, there's like an extra Dragon Ball Super manga chapter, like a little panel. I've seen it before, done by Toyotaro, which kind of explains that, where, you know, the Pilaf gang uses the Dragon Balls to become children right around the time when Goku died from the heart virus in the original, like, Trunks timeline. But that still doesn't explain at what point they became kids in the normal timeline, because they're kids over there as well. So, I don't know. We'll presumably at some point after Namek is when they become kids. But this MAI does get an awakening. She's okay. She's a decent card. She's nothing like amazing, but she's not bad either. I have found what I think to be a pretty damn good use for her over on the future category team. So that's where we'll check her out, because she does have two categories. She's on the Peppy Gal team as well as the future category team. So let me level her up, and then we'll go ahead and hop into an event with her. Alright guys, so we'll go ahead and try out MAI on the future category team. We'll kind of bring it like this. Now, one reason I do think MAI can actually be a bit useful on the future category team is because I do think a lot of the units here, you know, you can build some solid rotations, you know, like with any other, you know, category team pretty much. But, like, there is still a real need for ki. The future Gohan fight, which we're in, by the way, gives a lot of ki on the map. But, you know, the LRs. A lot of the LRs you can rock on this category team, they really need a lot of ki. Specifically, LR Trunks. I think LR Trunks is probably the worst LR. I want to do a comparison video. It's pretty commonly agreed that, like, the three worst LRs, you know, sort of somewhere in there are, like, LR Beerus, LR Bardock, LR Trunks, right? I might do a video just directly comparing the three of them in their max spot. Like, I've seen what LR Bardock is capable of doing. I've seen what LR Beerus is capable of doing. Now, I want to optimize LR Trunks at some point so we can kind of see that as well. Now, MAI. The thing about MAI that is very important is she does give three ki to all allies, but she also gives an attack and defensive buff, but it's only for AGL type units. Now, that's something that's going to be pretty difficult to hit, because you're not going to, like, really run this MAI. Like, you're not going to use MAI as, like, an AGL, you know, support type unit on, like, Super AGL or something like that, right? You're just not going to do that, you know, because there's so many better options. I mean, you can, if you don't have, like, Pan, or even, like, Super Vegeta is better. Okay, I know there's a lot of AGL support units, but I can't think of some of them off the top of my head. Been a while since I've run, like, Super AGL, like, seriously all the time. But, like, there's a couple of them that are above the 20% that MAI gives. So that's one important thing to consider. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Yeah, we'll keep the future Gohan around. We do want to see MAI actually get an attack off. One thing I hate about this card art is they did not give her a new sprite. Even when she originally came out, this MAI card, her sprite has the hat on. I like MAI so much better without the hat on. I mean, come on! So I do wish they had given her that new sprite. That would have been pretty nice to look at, because MAI is fine as hell, let's be real. Ooh, you know, MAI does have a great chance to stun as well. That's very helpful. So, you know where she actually really will shine is, she has a great super attack, by the way. But, oh, and then she pulls the rocket launcher out. Boy! I love it. That's that, like, she sniped Goku Black with the like the crazy key energy bullet that apparently Bulma made at some point off screen. I remember that was very surprising when Mai pulled that out in Dragon Ball Super. She's like, oh, by the way, I have this like this death machine like bullet that I could just toss at Goku Black. It's like, oh, that's very nice. Very nice of you to bring that up at this exact moment, Mai. Thank you very much. But man, one thing about the future team that is nice is there are a lot of LRs in the future team. Okay, it's 2.6 for LR Trunks right there. Now, of course, you do have to consider the fact that LR Trunks does have that ridiculous high chance of critting, 50% chance, which is helpful for him. But Key is just so oftentimes a major issue. So here, future Android 18, right? She should look a lot better on a rotation with Mai around, because Mai is giving her 3 key, 20% to attack and defense, and she gives her a crit chance of 10% for the Peppy Gal category, so that's pretty good. Also, this Mai, what I was going to start to say earlier is, this Mai would probably be tremendous, actually, for Super Battle Road. Like, good enough, Super AGL, Super Battle Road specifically, but I don't know, in future, oh boy, yeah. Can you tell that future Android 18 is very powerful in the future Gohan event? Wow! Goodbye, future Gohan. Damn. Whoa. But yeah, this Mai could be useful in the future category Super Battle Road with that great chance to stun. She'll be good in the Peppy Gal Super Battle Road, again, with the great chance to stun. Plus, I mean, we saw... well, I still haven't put up the Peppy Gals video yet as of the time of this recording, but I did do a run with the Peppy Gals team on Super Battle Road that was a flawless victory, no items used. So the Peppy Gals doesn't need it, but this is another really good option, because obviously since I just awakened her now, I didn't use her in that run. And she'll also be really good for Super AGL. The only thing about that is that I feel like Super AGL is not a stage that people have struggled with compared to other stages, right? There's a lot of really good Super AGL units who are fantastic for Super Battle Road. You know, AGL Super Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the new Transforming Goku is amazing. So I don't know how much of this Mai would be able to really help a lot of people, because this is where Mai, like, some of these cards could come in clutch as, like, good options for some of the Super Battle Road stages, you know. Now that Global is like moving towards jumping into the category Super Battle Road stages, like they start to get these units that are very good for the normal stages as well. I'm sure at least one person out there though has struggled to beat the Super AGL Super Battle Road, and they'll be able to do it, you know, with this Mai's help. Because again, a 70% chance to stun, 20% to attack and defense, 3 key, all of those can be very useful in Super Battle Road, no doubt, because stunning is so important when you have these fights where you're going up against, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies. Whoa, okay, one thing about Mai, she's not great defensively. 200,000 attack stat right there, yeah, and her attack numbers are not going to be crazy outrageous either. Another thing about future Gohan, he does have insanely high defense in this fight, particularly in this phase right here. So, you know, we're not going to do much damage to him unless it's like 18 or 17, or like, you know, powerful units doing crits. But all right, so that finishes that stage. Yeah, this Mai, I like that. I like what they did. Like, they turned a lot of these waifu cards who were, you know, a couple of them were sort of gimmicky. They were not bad. They weren't terrible. And they've turned them into like really usable good units for certain Super Battle Road stages. Like, specifically when looking at these Peppy Gal units, like, that's one of the big things I'm looking at, is how viable they'll be over there, in a place where a lot of people will, you know, struggle to beat stuff. Okay, and then she's of course, only Mai won't be able to help out in the Extreme Z Awakening event, because the one that's weak to Future right now is Tech Cell. So of course Mai won't be able to help out very much there, unfortunately. So this is Love Illuminating the Future. My Future. Her leader skill is AGL and Int type 3, key 3, and HP attack and defense 60%. So she does have a good leader skill. That certainly could be good as a sub-leader skill for Dokkan Battlefield, especially for a newer player. Her super attack, Deathly Surprise Attack, does supreme damage with a great chance to stun. Again, great chance should be about 70%, so that'll be very, very helpful. Her passive skill, Leader of the Resistance, is all allies key 3, AGL type allies 20% attack and defense, and then she gives Peppy Gal allies an extra 10% chance to crit. So that is very powerful. An extra 10% chance to crit. That's essentially giving all of her Peppy Gal allies the free 5 crit that SCR and Tech type units get from the Hidden Potential system. That's essentially what that is. That's a very strong ability right there. Her links are Battlefield Diva, Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Rival Duo, Dismal Future, and Shattering the Limit. Her 12 key multiplier is 130%, which is, of course, not very good at all. But, you know, she's not a unit designed to do damage, so I don't really see that as that much of an issue. And she's got 2 categories. The Peppy Gal team, which, of course, has gotten a big buff with this MAI and some other units on it. And then she is also on the Future team. I think MAI could be, as long as you like give this MAI some orbs for defense, maybe give her 15 dodge or something like that, I do think she'll definitely be able to help out in the future future category Super Battle Road stage whenever that does finally get added as well. So she's not too bad. I like what they did with her. You know, not every unit needs to have a 150% attack buff and stuff, right? Like, we can have kind of these gimmicky sort of situational units for certain stages as well. Very, very helpful. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.